Okay, folks, so we are live. So for those listening at home, welcome to the Dungeon Musings YouTube channel. My name is Kevin Madison, and I'll be your friendly crafty master, I guess, today. Because today, well, we had scheduled our ongoing Soulbound campaign, but we did find ourselves down a bunch of players for today due to a variety of commitments and whatnot. And so we are taking the opportunity to get a game to the table that I have recently kind of become a bit obsessed with, and that is Crafty Games Fantasy RPG Fantasy Craft. This is something that was developed after they released the second edition of the Spycraft 2.0 game, which was itself part of the OGL movement. I believe it might have been one. It's the first, definitely the first espionage RPG published for OGL. The Spycraft 2.0 did a substantial revision, and then Fantasycraft has done some further revising to it. And with me to get this one to the table is John.
Hey everyone, John. I'm John. I'm here with a solo adventure for Kev. We're going to have some fun.
Nice. So this is the first time that I'm getting Fantasycraft to the table, and Fantasycraft has a fair bit of moving parts in it, so I am likely to get some things wrong in this, so my apologies to Fantasycraft fans for things I'm going to screw up. There's a lot of stuff we're starting a little late this morning because we were talking just a bit about some of the basics of the game. We're also having currently the Roll20 sheet for this, which is really good. It only sporadically properly displays the background image, so sometimes it is very hard to read, and sometimes, so it's working for me right now, but sometimes it does not. So we've had that added challenge, but the game seems to be really interesting, so we're figuring it's worth the hassle to get this to the table. John, who are you playing today?
I'm playing a human grizzled fighter soldier. His name is Sir Isidore. He is a washed-up knight in search of sorcery.
Very nice. So in Fantasycraft, when you're creating your character, you have a number of things that go into making the character. There is your origin, which is made up of your species. If you're playing a human, it's your talents, and then it's your specialty. And then you also pick a class. So Sir Isidore is a human with the grizzled talent, the fighter specialty, and the soldier class. It is a 20 level based game, just like many other OGL games. And you have a sidekick with you as well, who is an orcish scholar and wizard.
Yep.
Name
is Zudagog.
Yes. And I believe, let me double check. I think you have control over the, oh, no, you don't. Hold up. There you go. You got control over Zudagog's token now, too.
Seems to have no wounds. That should fill that up.
No, because remember that he doesn't have wounds. He is a standard character.
That's right.
That bar is for damage. His damage save is a 0. So I have assumed that if he takes more than 10 damage, we'll adjust the sheet. But if he takes more than 10 damage, that's going to be a difficult save for him to make. So the setting for our game is an idea that I've had kicking around for a couple of years now. The setting I'm calling Guns in the Dwarflands. I think we're just going to dive in. What I'll tell you just for rough background, Sir Isidore is a fallen knight. You've left your knightly order. I'll leave it to you to decide what disillusioned him. But what I assume is that you have returned to the Dwarflands, which itself is recovering after 25 years of war. It's 25 years since an event known as the Sundown occurred. The Sundown is when the dwarves, for some reason and somehow, killed the elvish god of the sun. In this setting, the elves are the most advanced technologically and magically. It's unknown how the dwarves managed to do this, because the Dwarflands, they're called the Dwarflands, but truly it is a land that is shared by many different species. The dwarves live in the many mountainous regions that occupy the Dwarflands, but dwarves, orcs and goblins and trolls and giants and whatnot have occupied many of the other lands. In the century leading up to the Sundown, though, what they saw was what were arable lowlands and places where you could, nurture herds of animals and whatnot. Over 100 years, those dramatically changed and became drier, more parched, and that drove all of the other inhabitants of the Dwarflands into conflict with one another as they were fighting over surviving or the remnants of what was left. Their neighbors were not happy to take in them as refugees, and so they remained there. The dwarves became more and more entrenched in their mountains, unwilling to assist their orc and whatever else neighbors. And then for some unfathomable reason, 25 years ago, the sundown occurred, devastating resulting not only in the death of the elven sun god, but also the destruction of one of their cities when that occurred. In response, all the nations of this world allied together to turn against the dwarves. If the dwarves did it to one person, what would stop them from doing it to another? And so 25 years of war have torn the Dwarflands apart. The dwarf have been defeated. The demonic forces that they say drove them to this have been defeated, or so the elf-led military says. And now you find yourself in a land that is full of ruins and lost lands. It turns out that when they came to the Dwarflands, there has been a long brewing conflict among the dwarves and some of their other allies that the wider world was unaware of. What you know, Sir Isidore, is having come here on crusade, you have decided to lay down the sword. You have had enough. There still is plenty of work for mercenaries. There's still plenty of work for treasure hunters and whatnot. But you've encountered and came to be, I imagine, I don't know, would you call them friends with Zudagog? Or are you just mutual allies in search of specific knowledge?
I imagine if Zudagog's going to follow me this far, we more than just colleagues.
Yeah. So Zudagog is a bit of an unusual orc in that the orcs are very tribal. They're very kind of keep to their clans. They war amongst themselves as well as others. Zudagog, prior to the war in the Dwarflands, was educated at a human institution, and he is a gifted wizard. He also is a avid scholar of some of the secrets of his homeland. And that's one of the things that has brought you together for now. Let me show you where our session opens. This is a typical valley in the Dwarflands. Dwarflands is rife with massive mountains, once arable valleys, and still some places that remain green amongst the gray and browns of the Dwarflands. You two are currently, what we would see is the two of you trudging along through this valley, making your way down one of the roads. When the elves came, they also built roads in order to facilitate the movement of their armies and the allies who were with them. I will tell you that if you want to understand how the relationship is with the other elves, or with the other species, the elves are, like I said, the most advanced technologically. So imagine they are the ones who have, like, revolvers and bolt-action rifles, and everyone else makes use of black powder. Everyone else uses muskets. Everyone else uses those things. The elves not only are reluctant to share their technology with anybody else, they take active measures to punish those. If there are bandits or mercenaries who are found with elven technology, they really aren't seen again.
Gotcha.
So, in addition to that, elves have made use of extensive magics. Where you are traveling is into the territory. Oh, one other thing too, because Fantasy Craft facilitates lots of different, cross-species possibilities. There's plenty of half orc, half dwarves. There, the mixed race individuals in this setting are much more ubiquitous. You can imagine how looked down on a half elf would be, regardless of whatever their other parents may be. The orcs, I'm going to refer to them as orc tribes, but they are orc and dwarf mixed race individuals among them, which is not unusual. The orcs and dwarves have lived near each other for centuries, have traded for centuries. It's really only been in the century of, the drying times that have really caused problems. Some conspiracy theorists even say that there's a reason that everything changed in the Dwarflands, but that's not really a concern of yours. What a concern of yours is what your future holds and what secrets you can pry from some of the lost holds located in the mountains. So you two are traveling to meet with a orc named Morak. Morak's village is about 3 days' travel into the mountains. This is well away from where there are like elvish containment zones or active remaining conflicts with any kind of insurgents that have come up after the end of the proper war with the dwarves. But there's lots of banditry here. There's lots of what you call decoms, decommissioned soldiers, who have turned to banditry, to mercenary work, to set up their own kind of, territories. So, and then also there is always strife between the orcish tribes that are located in this region. But what you're hoping is that Morak will assist you. You and Zudagog have identified a old dwarvish stronghold that seems to have fallen off the histories about 300, 400 years ago. It was recorded and then it's gone. The fact that it's gone means there may be some things there. And whatever dark teachings that brought the dwarves to their demon masters, to that affected the death of the sun god, there may be some information to learn from there. And if not, riches to plunder and riches to sell. The trouble is, the particular tribe where this territory is located in, the orcs who have now occupied that, are very hostile. So what you're hoping is that Morak will agree to provide an introduction, because if you can get a vouchsafe from them, you should be safe. They treat guests quite seriously.
Skyrim orc friend.
Kind of, yeah. Yeah, so like if you are able to get them to welcome you as a guest, you'll be fine. Then it's just the other dangers associated with a, centuries abandoned dwarf hold for whatever reason. But that is your hope. But again, these lands are dangerous. As far as you know, there are no settlements. There were farms out here 125 years ago. It is uncertain whether any of them survived the drying times or the conflict with the dwarves or the dwarf war. You have not seen any sign of any civilization in the time that you've been marching along, and we catch you 2 days into your journey, or I think a day and a half into your journey, so getting close to the end of the second day. And why don't you give us a... Oh, actually, you can, when it is not difficult, you can take a 10. I think because Zudagog presumably has maps to go by, you can choose to take a 10 on his survival check if you'd like. I believe his survival bonus is a +5.
It is.
Okay. So let's get things rolling. Why don't you give us a notice check, please?
Okay. So I had to locate it on the sheet.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah, sorry, notice is a skill. That's what you use for like awareness. And then I think you use investigate if you're trying to like actively. Oh no! Investigate is like a gather information kind of thing. Okay. So as you're making your way along, you guys have not been you've not been flush with cash when you set out, which is part of the reason you're wearing leather armor. You know, you don't have any ranged weapons or whatnot. You're blowing...
imagine when I left the order, I had to leave my actual gear behind, so dressed like a mercenary.
Exactly. So, what you happen to notice is there is... You can picture that there's not necessarily the big, thick, lush areas that are down here. What there is more of the scrub brush that you see in the foreground here. Mm-hmm. You're trudging your way along one of these elf roads that was made to get deeper in. And what you're noticing is that about a half kilometer back, Zudagog is helpfully navigating your way through here. Although you might think that the elf roads are helpful, but because they are made in combination with magic and with golems, like there's tons of these out here, so it's very easy to get down the wrong road. And if you don't know where you're going, one peak can look like the other, so it's very easy to get lost out here. And you don't want to be lost out here at the best of times. When the sun goes down, you definitely do not want to be lost out here because it is pitch black. But what you're noticing is that there is a small dust trail that is following behind you. You also notice, not big enough to make you think that there are mounted people who are following, but there is a dust trail, and you're also noticing that not on a regular basis, but on a semi-regular basis, there are birds that are setting off into the sky. Now what you could do is you could give us a knowledge check. I think this is probably going to be a little more challenging to see if you can think what this might be. Do you have any studies that you think would apply here?
So I don't think it's mounted.
Definitely not.
I have a cavalry.
Yeah, not. Let me see here. I guess by process of elimination, that actually might be helpful. So I'd let you give use your cavalry studies for it. So it'll be another +1.
So +2 total. Okay.
And then, do you have 4 points in any skills that you think would apply? 4 ranks in any skills.
Let's see, athletics I don't think will work. I don't think athletics would help.
Okay.
That's the only 4 ranks I have.
Okay. Yeah, it's like 3.5 or Pathfinder 1 where you get skill points that you can distribute. So you can choose to spread around or you can choose to focus. Okay, great. 14. So you have no idea what this might be. You could, though, consult with Zudagog if you wanted.
Yeah, I'll say, Zuda, it's a big plume of dust coming up from behind us. Any thoughts?
So he'll turn around. I believe we said his studies bonus is +6, right?
Yeah, you got the competence of 2.
Oh, so competence doesn't go into the knowledge. Knowledge is only based on how many studies you have and then your intelligence bonus.
Gotcha.
For those listening home, that's not the way knowledge works in Spycraft 2.0, so if you're more familiar with that, just be aware that there is a difference in Fantasycraft from that. So,
gotcha.
Oh, you know what you could do? You could spend an action point on your knowledge check.
I could, yeah. Let's get spinning those.
You do that? So 1d4 exclamation mark, please.
Just double checking because I get 2 if it's a melee attack. So
yeah, if it's a melee attack or if it's a save. So that's a 16. Okay. So I think here's what you know enough of. You know that something is pursuing you, which means something is hunting you.
Oof.
If there's birds going up, then that means something is trying to get away from a predator, or at least something that is going along that would startle them. So that might be a good starting point. What I was checking to see if Zudagog's got 4 ranks in... he's only got 3 ranks in survival, so he won't get the synergy bonus anyway. Do you want to make a check for Zudagog for his knowledge? It would be, I think, only Oh wait, what are his? He's got like Dwarflands as a
Dwarflands history, and then Wars of Dwarfs and Orcs.
Yeah, I think either of those will give a +1, so he'll give a +8 in total, +1 for your assistance, +1 for the study, and then his other one. So it gives a +8. So he looks back. No, I don't know. It can't. He looks up. Do we deal with them now? Do we try to lose them? Or do we wait until nightfall?
Something's, hunting for us or anyone on the road in particular. I'd rather not be on the road when they get here. So you look around, you said there's a bunch of sagebrush around, and I don't see many places to hide, though.
No. A high point, perhaps.
Get the high ground? Yeah, let's do that. See if we can duck behind something.
Okay. So Zudagog has... So one of the ways that NPCs function in this is normally they're like 10 is their stats in everything other than things they happen to be exceptional in. So he's got a 14 intelligence, 14 charisma, but otherwise he's got 10s in everything. So he's not a super hale dude. You're going to want to make sure you protect him if you can, if things do come to that. So where do you picture you positioning yourself? You can get off the road. The terrain looks very much like what we see in the photo here.
Say we get about 50 feet up off the road. See if we can find a little gully or like a dip where water, if it does flow, goes down seasonally.
Yep.
And I'll whisper to Zudagog, get your spell up, the protective one, just in case.
Okay. Why don't you give us a spellcasting check for him? He can roll as many times as you want. If they're... Oh, I got my action points. I forgot. I think it is equal to the threat level plus the number of players. If I recall. I forgot to get mine.
Spellcasting is a 5.
7, because he gets the +2 from his feet
right
as well. I forgot to include that.
Oh, yeah, he gets it off.
Yeah, because casting basics. Oh, awesome. What does his mage armor look like?
I imagine that depends on where he learned his spells from. I would say, yeah, he's more scholarly, so it's probably like little glyphs that flash up into view just for a moment and then fizzle out until they're almost completely imperceptible until something tries to hit him and then they flash into existence again.
Nice. Okay. So...
Hopefully nobody gets close enough to hit him.
Let me see here. Yeah, so we got a defense of 14 then.
Nice.
Just trying to find my thing here. Is it under... You know what? I got the source book. So they've only actually published in print 2 different books for this so far. And they've said the game is effectively dead at this point, too, or at least in a non-active state. They have at least some neat PDFs for it as well. Oh, that's not true. I think there is one more adventure that's in print. There's an adventure companion that actually I don't own. I don't own yet. It is on my Noble Knight want list. Okay. Yeah, let's just use that. All right. So, what you can do is, what did you roll for your notice? It was like a 21, right?
Yes.
So what you happen to notice is that about after about maybe a half hour wait. The sun is beating down on you guys. You take a moment to take water from your canteen, pass it to Zudagog. He kind of gestures and nervously is keeping an eye out for what is coming. What you guys eventually see, let me show you. These things are smaller than you, but you've become, unfortunately, familiar with these. They are bone-gnar skinks. These are about the size of a mid-sized dog. So they're about maybe 40 pounds, but they travel in packs. They are very active during the day, become very lethargic at night. So it's not surprising that, you're surprised that you did get the scent of them. It says a lot, because they are also kind of cowardly, it says a lot about the amount of traffic this place sees, that they happen to be so close to the road and caught your scents. The downside is there does appear to be about 8 of them that are approaching. So let me just quickly set this up.
That's not good. Zudagog, does your sleep spell work on these things?
It would, if they fail their saving throw. So, let me just set up a damage bar for each of these suckers. Okay. So they're around probably 100 feet away when you first notice them. And they're coming in kind of 2 angles. Like wolves, the bone-gnar skinks will kind of hunt in with a little bit of pack tactics. You can kind of picture like a combination of the skittering of a rat with the sort of like surging undulation of a crocodile or an alligator. So, let's roll some initiative. Let's see what these things are getting. Ooh. Also, you get another action point. And so do I.
Going to need those.
Let's see, let's use these.
Isidore has a 0 initiative, so.
Here we go.
2. That's great.
Oh, this is for Zudagog?
Yeah, Zudagog. Nice.
Yeah, he's got, I think, +0 to his initiative, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, so there I've got a token in there for him. Let me grab. Actually, let's do this here. And I rolled 10 for them. Okay. So, Sir Isidore, you are up first. Now, I believe a ready is kind of like how it works in PF2, so right?
Full action, 1 half action taken later during this round.
Yeah. So if you want to ready in action, that's one way to do. You could also, I don't know if there's anything else you want to do. I'm assuming you got your shield out, you got your bastard sword out.
Yeah, and you said they're closing in on 2 different directions.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna try ready an attack against the first one that comes in. Try to protect Zudagog.
Okay. Okay, so you're staying near, and the range of sleep. We didn't talk about that before we went in.
Yeah.
Ooh, sleep has a range of close.
Yeah, we gotta get closer. So you said 50, right?
No, short is 50.
Oh.
Close is 50. Oh, so here's the difference. Close is an effect that can be of a distance up to 50 feet from the caster. But it's an area of 10. Short travels from the caster up to 50 feet away. So it tells you where the origin of the effect is. Okay, so but both are 50. Huh, it's interesting. All right, so then, Sir Isidore, you're here. These things are beginning to close in.
Yep. So
you've readied your attack. On their turn, they are going to... let's see here. We'll have to speed in any direction is a speed. Okay. So 4 of them are going to run and just cover the distance between where you guys are. They are flat-footed, but we have 2 on Zutagog and 2 on you at this point. So now that they're within range, you can trigger your attack of opportunity if you'd like.
Yeah,
or your ready action.
Yeah, I'm going to go after the ones next to Zutagog because he's the one that is the squishiest.
Yeah, go right ahead. Defense is a 10.
Okay. Double check where the roll is for this.
Oh, so it'll be the attack. Yeah, under Bastard Sword, it'll be the attack. I think the one on the most left.
Yep, that's good. Oh, I can spend an action point, can't I?
You can, absolutely. Yeah. And remember, when you spend an action point, you get the benefit of 2. So roll 2d4 exclamation mark.
And protect Zutagog. There we go.
Oh, just enough. Holy smokes. So you lunge out and you manage to connect with it. Go ahead and roll damage.
Come
4
on.
points. Okay. So let's see here. Well, I mean, but it triggers it because these things are standard NPCs or standard characters. I have to make a damage save. So that is a DC of 12.
And they're smaller, right?
They are smaller. Yeah, that's right. They also have to make a fortitude save. Fortunately, this thing actually died, though. I failed my damage save. So what does it look like as you take the first one down?
I just because it's such a weak hit. I mean, he's trying to pivot against the other 2, and he just swings the sword in a wide arc and just clicks it right in the back of the spine, and just
nice.
It just folds up.
And the others are going to just move. Yeah, they're just going to move up. So they're not. I think they're going to split up as well too. So there's 2 different packs of these Bonar skinks that are making their way in. There's one engaged with you. Zutagog's turn. Now, I'm just double checking how attacks of opportunity work.
Yeah, I was thinking about that too.
Yeah, let's see here. So I think a step is a have action. Sometimes it's called attacks of opportunity. Sometimes it's called opportunity attacks. Which is it? Oh. There may not be... I think there is in this. Let me just double check here. I think there is. I'm not seeing it listed as attack of opportunity, but sometimes they call it like free strikes or similar things. Okay, here we go. Right. Damage resistance, dual conditions. We are standard attacks, advanced, restricted actions.
Three attacks, 205.
205?
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay. Each free attack is a free standard attack, may be boosted with tricks and other rules, may never gain more than 1.
So I don't think there's an attacks of opportunity then.
No, I don't think, I'm not seeing it here.
See attacks.
Just double checking the special combat rules here. And I'll check in movement, but here we go, actions.
It's a concentrate check. HAD. A lot of this is similar to 3.5, which I really like.
Mm-hmm.
So. Okay. When the GM determines the current actions are threatened by one or more distractions, the character must make a concentrate check.
Okay, which is a resolve skill.
Yeah, 216, distraction, mild, missed an attack, adjacent shouting.
Oh, but it's only when you take damage, it looks like. Right? Because this is the distractions are like miss with an attack. Oh, adjacent to shouting or chanting. Yeah, there we go.
It is a free action, though, so it's not like it's super huge.
Yeah. So he'll just need to make a resolve check. And I believe he's trained. I think he has +5 with his resolve.
He's got a 6.
Oh, wow. Nice. All right. The DC is 10. No, so 10 plus 4 because of that. So it'll be 14.
Okay.
So free action first for Zudagog. No problem.
Alrighty, so he's going to attempt to sleep spell then.
Okay.
And you said the other groups haven't quite got to us yet?
Yeah, so he could target one of the other two groups easily.
He's going to target the ones that are coming after him.
Got it.
He's under orders.
Okay.
So he needs to make a spellcrafting check.
Yep.
To do this.
Spellcasting against a DC of 16, 6, but he's got +7 to it though.
It's a huge. Okay.
Oh. Nice. What does his sleep spell look like? I'll make the save for those two things. Both fail.
I'm trying to flavor it after an orc. It's probably like some kind of he extracts some kind of substance from the air.
Educated by humans too, so.
Mm-hmm. So I'm guessing he like extracts a bit of the oxygen from the air, and it's all of a sudden they can't breathe and just start getting drowsy and fall to the ground.
Okay, awesome. That is 2 Bonar skinks that are ground. So that's a half action for him. He's got one other half action.
Maybe he'll reposition behind Sir Isidore or to step away from the other one. So he's. Sure. I don't think I need to roll for that, right?
You do not.
Okay, let's see. Half action. How good is he with distractions?
I think we would use his charisma is +2. I'm telling him, and then I think you just use his competence bonus otherwise, so it'd be +4 total.
Okay. I think he'll try to distract the one in front of him to lower its initiative, so he might get to act before it.
Yeah.
Next turn.
Okay.
Yeah, let's try that.
I rolled a 10.
18.
Nice. Okay,
and so it's 2d6 is the. So 8. They're going to act on the same initiative next turn.
So it does act for this round only.
Oh, this round?
Yeah, it says like that for this round only. So, but what I'll do is it'll be to the start of its next turn. So that means that Zudagog will be able to act before the one in front of him.
Cool.
For it. So then I'll put like a.
I imagine he like throws some sand in its face with his foot.
Awesome. Okay. So top of the round, and this is where you could spend action points to boost defense, for instance.
Oh, I can boost defense.
Yeah, because if you spend it, you roll, it gives +2 to defense, and then you roll, whatever the result of the roll is how many rounds you have that benefit for.
And is that an action?
Nope, just you spend, it's just a spending of an action point.
I'll spend an action point to do that then.
For yourself or for Zudagog?
I think his enemies are distracted enough that I think Sir Isidore is going to get all the attention. So, yeah, I'll spend that for Sir Isidore.
For yourself, you got it. So give us a 1d4 exclamation mark.
Come on.
All right,
so makes it a 16 for the round.
Yeah. So then, and I'm sorry, your defense is normally 15, so it's like 17 right now, right?
It's 15 with a shield.
Yeah, it's because I think your shield is out.
Yes.
Okay.
So I think 16 is my defense then.
That's awesome. All right. So then these things are.
Oh, no, it's +2 for one round.
Yeah, +2, so it'll be 17 for this 17. Round.
All
right, so that was just spending your action point. You still have your full round of actions. What do you want to do?
Okay, spend that point. And I think he's going to try to take out the one that Zudagog hit, just to make sure that he is no longer threatened.
You got it.
And get back to the weapon.
He's flat-footed, so go ahead and make your attack.
Yeah. 8 hit flat-footed?
8 does not hit flat-footed, unfortunately. You could spend an action point on that if you'd like. Or you could just use your next half action to attack again.
I want to spend the point and try to attack the other guys. So, well, spin this and try to boost it.
Okay, give us a 1d4 exclamation mark.
2d4.
Nice. Oh, 2d4. Right. Because you've got your fighter. All right, is that enough? Go ahead. That does tag it. Go ahead and roll damage. I'll make my damage save. It's 6. Okay. So he's taking 6 damage so far. That's not enough. It's still around.
Okay. I got one more attack then, so we'll try to finish him off with this one. Go down, you stupid rep, dang it.
Are you kidding me? Oh, you just rolled damage.
Stop watching the channel.
That's not, you rolled damage, not an attack.
Oh, okay. Well, there's my damage if I hit it.
I mean, I appreciate you playing on hard mode. But, all right, so that is a hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
You want to use my 5?
Oh, sure, yeah, we'll use a 5. And then he fails the second damage save, so that is another one down. Right. Then it is
I think I can do a free action to enter my stance, my martial stance.
No, it's a half action to enter your martial stance. What your free action is to sense motive.
Okay, that's right.
Right, to try and make the thing set. Yeah, and you have that only triggers when you damage something. So if you damage one of the other skinks, then you would be able to then make a sense motive at -4. If you succeed, then you get plus your wisdom modifier to your defense, minimum 1.
All right, that's it for me then.
Okay. All right, then it is the skink's turn. All right, so you got a 17 to get you. So the first skink is going to attack twice. Ooh, I do get 1 hit. So you take
nasty teeth.
1 point of damage, which is stopped by your armor. There's no minimum armor because you can't get through your leather armor. Second one. It does hit barely, and that is 2 points of damage, which does not get through your armor.
Jeez.
These other 2 are able to get in as a half action, so you're getting overwhelmed by these.
That's okay.
Things. Ooh, is one going to go for Zutagog? I think one's going to slip through.
Ah, damn it.
Okay.
Dodge, Zutagog, dodge.
Let's see here. One will do attack on Zutagog. That's a miss. His defense of 14 is protecting him right now. And then the last on you, that is a hit too. And that is 4 points of damage. So 2 gets through to your vitality.
Nasty teeth.
Yeah. Fortunately, the other ones are sleeping. Hey, you know what I'll do? I'm going to spend, because I've got action points to blow here. I'm going to spend 1 action point to introduce another one, and I'm going to spend 2 to make it a alpha skink. So I'm making a standard character. It works just like you guys. So it'll have hit points, vitality points, wound points, just like the others. This one will appear this round, but will not move in. And let me set its. So its wounds are going to be equal to its constitution, and its vitality is equal to. Oh no, it's constitution modified by its size. Hold on, I think it's actually because it's smaller. It has less wounds. Let me see here. Just a responsible crafty master would do all these calculations beforehand. But we're all learning here. Where is it? There we go. Modified by size. 2/3 rounding up. All right. So there we go. And the vitality is... I think it's 5. Okay. And there we go. So the alpha skink, and I think you'll tell him apart from the others because he's the one who's got like actual health bars. Next round, he will be able to go in. That is... There we go, where he will be in the initiative order. And I'll maybe give him a name so you can tell what initiative tracker he is. Alpha skink. There we are. All right. So I'll put him before the other skinks. There we go. Then it is Zudagog's turn.
Alrighty, he's gonna say something about, "Sir, you need to clear the battlefield before I can do anything," and then he's gonna take a full defense action.
Oh, what does that do?
4 dodge as a defense for a full round. Takes his full action though.
What is his defense again?
+4 dodge bonus to defense for 1 full round. So it should make
nice.
it 18
defense for Zudagog then.
So he's just completely turtling up and blocking stuff with his quarterstaff and keeping the rat at bay.
Okay. Top of the round, Sir Isidore, you no longer have your action point bonus to defense. Yep. What would you like to do? You're going to get another action point in 7 minutes.
Okay. I think...
You know what? Fuck it. Do you want it now? I get an action point anyway, so why don't you take your action point now?
Sure. I'll take it.
Okay.
And I'll spend it for defense bonus.
Okay. Gives a 1d4 exclamation mark.
Another one. Jeff, stop watching the session.
+1. All right. So +2 for one more round. Then you have your full round of actions. What are you doing?
He's gonna start clipping the ones right next to him, since Zudagog is taking his defense seriously.
Did you wish to enter your stance? Because that lasts for the scene.
Attack. Okay.
Okay.
So his stance will give me a +1 to hit and +3 to damage.
Correct.
Okay. So I'll target this one right here.
Okay. Go right ahead.
And I'll add a modifier of 1 and then 3, I think, to damage. 1, 2, 3. There we go.
Okay.
And attack.
That's solid hit. Go ahead and roll damage. I'll make a save. Holy smokes. That first one is gone. All right. Huge damage on that.
7, 10, yeah. Wait, does that calculate properly?
It did not. It had a +2. Where's the 3 modifier?
It didn't. I have 3 in there, but it didn't add it.
Let's
apparently.
see. Did you click out of the modifier before you hit the button?
I did. Let me try. I'm gonna roll it again. It says a +7 bonus. That's weird.
Oh, that's to the attack, not to damage. If you put it in miss, then it's there. The damage modifier, you'll have to put +3 next to the actual D10.
Oh, okay, got it. +3. There we go.
There you go.
We'll make sure it works now. Yeah, it works now.
There you go. All right. So big hit. Then it is the Alpha Skink's turn, and it is going to come skittering in, and I am going to make an attack on you for a second half action. So you have a 17 defense right now.
Yes.
I rolled a nat 1, so you could, if you had an action point, you could trigger an error. But all right, that's it for the Alpha Skink. Then it is the others. All right, so we've got one attack in Zudagog. He has an 18. That is a nat 20.
Shit.
But I have to spend an action point in order to trigger a threat, and I can't spend action points in a standard scene on minions, or standard. So he can't get a critical hit on him, which means it's just normal damage. 1 point of damage. So if you want to put 1 in there, and Zudagog needs to make a damage save of 10.
Okay, and what is his roll for that?
+0.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
If he fails, he dies, doesn't he?
No, he'll be wounded. Like he's still an important.
Oh.
There you go. No problem.
He's taking all the high rolls. The minion's getting all the high rolls.
There you go. All right, then we got some on you. Okay, so let's see here. And there's some neat variants of the rules too. For NPCs can also take more than 1 wound sometimes. So if it's a more durable one, like for him, because he's a supporting character, he would be able to take 1 wound. So that way he wouldn't just die immediately. Sir Isidore, we got 2. So the first skink is going to attack you twice. 17 is your AC right now? Or defense?
Defense.
Hits, but doesn't get through the damage. And the second, or doesn't get through your armor, you managed to hold off. Because of the added defense, because your adrenaline's kicking in, you've held all of them off. Now, let's take a look at sleep. How long does sleep last for?
No idea.
Okay, let's take a look here. It is sleep 1. He cast. 1 round per casting level. So actually, he's only casting level 1 because he's equal to you, which means they are going to stir.
Yep.
Yeah. And I think they're going to figure what the hell's going on first for this round. And then they're going to move in. So 1 on you, 1 on Zutagog for now.
Jeez.
Okay. Then it is Zutagog's turn. What's he doing?
Like, sir, this isn't getting any better. And he's going to keep turtling up in full defense.
Okay. Then, top of the round, Sir Isidore, what are you doing?
I'm going to try and reach the 2 next to him and try to get them off of him.
Okay.
Because he is not as tough as I am.
Go right ahead. So first, and you got your stance now, too.
For 9.
9 damage. Okay, failed. So that first one's dead.
And then swing at the one next to him.
Go ahead. Yep. Big hit. I failed my save. 2 more down. All right, so he's finally free of them. Then the Alpha Skink is going to try and take advantage of that. He's going to aim at you, try and get his best option. So he's got +1, and that is a 15, which I think is just enough right now, right?
It's still 17. That's the last round of it.
Oh, did you roll? I thought you rolled a 1.
I rolled a 1, but it's... it's 2 for 1 round.
Yeah, start of your turn. Yeah, that's right. Okay, so then he hits you, but let's see if he actually injures you. That is, 3 points of damage, so 1 gets through your armor. And then we got a couple other skinks. One of them hits you. 3 points of damage again, so 1 more gets through. Next one does nat 20, but again, it's a, what do you call it? Standard character. That's 4 total, so 2 gets through.
Jeez.
And then...
to tear into me.
Nothing. The other one is held off. So the Alpha Skink and the Standard Skinks. Zutagog does not have any of the Bone Gnar Skinks on him. What's he doing?
Okay, he is going to attempt a magic missile spell.
Nice. Okay.
Because I think sleep is too close, so he might actually get his...
Okay. Each of them does 1d6 damage. It's 3 missiles, but he needs to
target the small skinks.
Yep, and it's a spell casting of 16.
Okay.
Oh, and I could trigger an error.
Yeah, if you got the point.
Yeah, and I think there is a miscasting thing here. Let's say, take a look here.
See what the rules do.
Yeah. Okay.
It's only fair you roll in that 1. I need 1 too, so.
Yeah, true. Let's see here. Where is it? Spellcasting is before the Forge Grimoire. Here we go. All right. Spellcasting check. The critical failure. Confidence is shaken -5 with spellcasting checks until he succeeds with the spellcasting check or until the end of the current scene, whichever comes first.
That's horrible.
I think I'm gonna. It's so evil, but I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna spend one of my action points. So what do you think happens as Zutagog? Just his confidence gets off and the spell goes awry.
I mean, he's so confident with these spells, they normally don't misfire because of his mastery of them.
Yeah.
So when, I don't know, something just like grounds his magic for a second and he's just loses confidence. Not sure. Maybe it's just like the battle's too heated and he's like, I can't dodge everything. I need to get away and focus.
Yeah. So. He stumbles back and that causes him to miss cast and it just does not go off.
So
All right.
for his second half action, he's actually going to put a little distance between him and the skinks.
Okay, so he is, I think his move is a 30, so we could put 30 feet between the two of you. All right, then that is the end of the round. We're already at half session. Why don't we take our half session break right now, then come back and continue the fight against the skinks?
Yep, sounds good.
Okay, so for those listening at home, we'll be back in about 5 minutes. All right. So, top of the round. Why don't we come back from the break with an action point?
Nice.
Okay.
I think I'll save it this time, though.
All right. So, what are you doing this round, Sir Isidore? You're up first.
I'm gonna assume that Zudagog is gonna take care of the big one, so or the small one. So I'm gonna go after the big one.
Okay. Okay.
Let's see if there's something in particular I want to do to it.
This is the thing where you could, because it may conceivably survive your first hit, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you could use your free action to hit this thing and feint.
Oh yeah, I can do that.
Right?
Yeah, so hit it and then attempt to feint it. Okay, yeah, we'll do that.
Okay.
So swing away at it.
Okay. Go. This is a defense of 12, but that's a big hit. Nice.
Come on for big damage.
12 points of damage. All right, now hold on. What I was checking is I've read too many games in the last little bit where they have two different kinds of hit points, and some carry over directly from vitality points to wound points, and some, as soon as you exhaust the vitality points, that's it, and then you start at the wound points with the next hit. So I'm just going to check and see how that works here. Oh, so anything's... Here's the... Oh, right. When you lose your vitality points, you also become fatigued.
Mm.
And what fatigued is...
The start of the death spiral.
Yeah, fatigued is... your speed drops by 5, you may not run, and your dex and your strength are reduced by 2 each.
Oh, so just like 3.5.
Yeah.
Okay, that's actually not that bad.
Yeah. So, then that is a big hit. Look at this.
Alrighty.
First, right through that, and into its wound. So this thing is fatigued. Now, if you wish... Oh, it is full. Hold on. You did 12 points of damage?
Yes.
It needs to make that save against massive.
There's a massive... Oh, no.
Because your sword, right?
Oh, yeah, that's right. I could knock it down.
Yeah, because you don't take an action with that. It's just if you hit someone and injure them, I'm just going to double check if it is the full damage or plus 10.
I think you said it was half.
That's for damage saves, but for massive, it actually... Yeah, the DC... So the DC is not... For damage saves, it's 10 plus half the damage you've taken so far. For the massive thing, it's just the damage you rolled. So that is what the... So it's a DC 12 fortitude save for it. Let's see here. I came close. I'm going to spend an action point because it is a special character. Yeah. So I can smell that. All right, so it does succeed. It isn't knocked prone, but it is fatigued.
Okay,
you still have another half.
Sense motive check with the -4, so that I can attempt to get a +4 against it. So
okay, is the feint normally? Let me take a look here.
It's anticipate is what the.
Oh, right. Let's see. Anticipate. 10 plus the target number. So yeah, your sense motive target number is a. Basically, it's gonna be a 14.
Okay. Oh, it includes my -4.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. Sense motive. Hiya.
Nice. What's your wisdom modifier?
It's 1.
You got +1 to your armor against this thing. Is it to the end of the scene or end of the next round?
It's for the full round, I think.
Fucking awesome. Okay.
And then second attack, I'm going to try to cleave it with the...
Go right ahead.
I hate these things. They're disgusting.
Solid hit. Come on. Big damage.
Oh, yeah.
That is enough. So then, what that means is the others. Remember I mentioned these things only attack in packs.
Mm-hmm.
These others are running away.
Cowards.
There you go.
They got to run off and point a new alpha.
Yeah, exactly. They need a new boss. So with them off, that brings us to the end of the fight. So, Zudagog, he's looking pretty rattled, I imagine.
Yeah, I mean, he got hit, and he doesn't have leather.
Well, and he also did not, what do you call it? He screwed up that spell, too, right? So he is... do you say anything to him when he...
It's like, looks like you got nipped. Lucky they ran off.
I do not like these things.
Yeah, they're creepy. It's like a rat and a lizard. It's unnatural.
Why don't you give us... well, Zudagog can take a 10 on his survival if you... Well, I'm trying to think if they're... Give us a D20 plus 5 roll. I'm kind of waffling on whether he knows that this is safe to eat or not. He's pretty sure these are safe to eat. So at least you get some fresh meat for...
I don't even consider eating these things. This is an orc specialty?
Necessity. Our rations will keep. These will not.
Is your spellcasting functional? Got a little bit of scratches here. I don't want to get infected.
Yeah, so I'm checking about... Let's see here. If there's a restriction.
10 vitality and or 1 wound they could heal?
Yeah, I'm just trying to see if there's a restriction. Like, he can cast it without... without restriction. I was wondering if there's a restriction on casting, because you normally use spell points when you're in combat. But I don't know if having a healing spell just means you can top yourself off automatically. Oh, you know what is... let's see here.
Reset my...
Oh, it's the start of each scene. So because we're in a travel scene, I guess that means he's only got... He would be restricted normally from using it, but he can make free use of his healing spell now, if you like. So it'll be 10 vitality or 1 wound, or 1 damage for normal... Is it 1 or is it 10 damage? Let's see. Cure wounds... 10 damage to a standard character, or 10 vitality, or 1 wound for you. So, if you'd like Zudagog to try and heal you, there's also an option for first aid as well. If you're... Are you trained in medicine?
Let's see. Medicine, I am not.
Okay.
Neither is he.
Vitality, I believe you get back 1 point per hour per rest. So if you take an hour to recover, Zudagog's will go away. He really only needs to worry about if he's going to cast a spell, just to heal you.
Yeah, let's say we break here, and so if he heals me, I won't need to rest, and I can get the bodies up and ready.
Yeah. So go ahead and give us a D20 plus 7, DC 16.
There you go.
No problem. So what does his healing look like?
Let's see. It's probably just some kind of weird, like his hands brush over the wounds, and then the blood that kind of like spilled out and like started to crust over starts to reinvigorate and flow back into the wounds and seal it up. I imagine these are minor scratches anyway, and the bruising starts to go down.
Okay. And then with the hour's rest, Zudagog's point of damage will go away as well. And you guys have some food for this evening.
This is not going to be delicious.
Okay.
Where's a gnome chef when you need one?
Yeah, really. All right. So because of the delay of the scrap with the Bonar skinks, and because of the delay of resting afterwards, it is going to be, because of the how high the peaks are, I think it's easy to forget how quickly evening comes here. So it is... I've got another illustration, so bear in mind this is sort of what you'll be traveling through, but take a look at this as well.
That's cool.
So it's not. Well, it's probably like this, where it's dusk, where you guys are making your way along. Zudagog, I'm trying to remember if orcs have dark vision in this or not. At default, let me take a look. Orcs.
It doesn't have a light spell, so
They have light sensitivity. No, he does. So I just took out his 0 level spells, but there is one called light, so he could make use of that.
okay.
Um,
Yeah, normally light sensitivity goes hand in hand with dark vision for.
yeah, but I don't think it does in this. There are like subspecies traits you can take, or not traits, feats that basically give you the stuff. So like, there's a race or species in this called Peck. The Pecks are what you use to build gnomes and halflings. It just depends on what other feats you take with it. And Zudagog, I guess, you know what? We were talking about this last night. I think with because in the Dark Eye, you can also build, like, you don't have to take any of the racial traits. You can buy them if you want to, or ignore them. And Ingolf's character is a dwarf, but he's only got 1 level of dark vision as opposed to 2. And the way we reconcile that is that he's been out in the light for this long. That is, it's kind of fucked up his thing. So Zudagog neither has the sensitivity to the light, but he also doesn't have dark vision either.
Okay, that makes sense.
Although I kind of dig the idea of him wearing sunglasses for his spectacles there, to give a little bit of a tint to them to help with the brightness.
Yeah, maybe it's like that mechanically light sensitivity, but he's probably still got sensitive eyes.
Yeah, just doesn't like it as much. So if he's moving along, if you want, he can cast light on a walking stick or something like that, and because he does have a quarterstaff, and he's using that to sort of illuminate as you're going in. What you see is, as you guys come over, you come to another one. It's actually while it's not as bright as what it was in that last photograph, there was that little bend in the river where there was an area of green and there was a building there. That is closer to what you come across as you're coming down. You're certainly not going to be wanting to travel this stuff. It is so easy to accidentally step into a pit or a ravine or, off the edge of a mountain. You're staying in the valley, so that's a lot safer. But even then, like, if you turn an ankle out here, you're 2 days out into the wilderness. There's nobody around. The fact that those Bonar skinks were here tells you no one's been through here in quite a while. So,
gotcha.
You don't want to injure yourself. Taking a rest is definitely going to be the best. Why don't you give us a notice check as well, please, Sir Isidore? We'll grant you +1, but
9.
Okay. No problem. I was going to see if you noticed something. So you are making your way over, but here's what you do notice, because there's obviously some stuff. There is a farmhouse down there, a single building, and there's like a outstanding place where they probably kept animals and whatnot. Would you give us a knowledge check, please? And I think you're going to get +2 to your knowledge check from Zudagog's assistance, so your total modifier should be +3.
Okay, adjusted knowledge check. Okay.
Awesome. So, you having fought for some period of time over the last, it's been 25 years that war has come to the Dwarflands. For some period of that, you have been here. So you've come to sort of know what these outlying communities sometimes, or these small places. 2 things stand out to you. One, it looks like the fields were replanted. So it looks like there was a family that came back here to try and farm. There are often one of the sort of happy mediums that for those who are outcast by their tribe, finding a way to grow food as in these lowland valleys is a good way to sort of still keep relations with your clan or your tribe while also living, kind of carving out your own space. There are fields that were replanted here, but they have completely gone to shit. Like someone's just let them grow wild. So it tells you that the light that's in there, they're probably not farmers, because someone is not maintaining this field, or at the very least, they are not able to maintain their field. What would you like to do?
Well, traveling at night is not an option, and who knows when those skinks will come back. So, rather deal with other thinking beings that I could threaten or control, and let us stay for the night.
Why don't you take another action point too? We're almost at 10.
Cool.
So, Zudagog looks over. What do you think?
I think we try for the farmhouse.
Do we? He looks at it. I do not think farmers are in that house.
No. Well, either way, we'll find a place to rest our head at night, or we'll lessen the amount of bandits in the area.
Decoms, you think?
Perhaps. But I'm no threat to them if they're no threat to us.
So you start stepping, making your way down towards the to where the fields would be, and you realize that Zudagog hasn't quite moved yet, and he seems to be kind of looking around.
Something on your mind, Zudagog?
I am ill at ease. Not from... He gestures down to the farmhouse. Whatever awaits. There is something in these hills.
All the more reason not to be in the hills when the night truly sets.
Agreed. I think out of an abundance of caution, why don't you give us a spellcasting check? Let's get his mage armor up just to be sure. Great.
No problem.
Those runes appear once again, and he nods to you. So how would you like to approach this? Do you want to make your way down to the front? Remember, you're wearing leather armor, so you're not as noisy as you can be. I can't remember if you have any. Oh, here's something actually, an opportunity to talk about some skills here. So if you're actively trying to hide from someone, trying to conceal your presence, that is, I believe it's stealth.
Okay.
But there's a neat spell. You see where a skill called Blend. Blend is just trying to be not spotted within a place where maybe you shouldn't be. So if you're trying to hide in a crowd, or you're trying to observe somebody, or shadow them, or you want to listen to a message from an enemy, but keep hidden in the crowd of people, use Blend instead of that.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm. So, sorry, how would you like to approach then?
I'd like to give whoever's in this cabin the benefit of the doubt, and let them decide whether they're going to be hostile or not. So I'll tell Zudagog to keep his light on, and we'll approach openly.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm going to keep my hand not too far from my weapon. Shield definitely still out. But
okay. So if you make your way over, I think you can hear people talking within. The nights are quite cold here, so they will put tarps over the windows. There's no glass in the windows or anything like that. You can tell as well, the fields themselves are just wildly overgrown with grain. And you can hear coming from within, it sounds like some people are talking inside. And if you want to try and listen in for a moment, give us a stealth check. But I'm going to give them a pretty big penalty to their notice, because they're not...
Because I'm not super good at it.
Okay, 6. So if you get over, what you can hear is, all you're really able to pick up is the tone of inside, and it's agitated. And then there's suddenly a, wait, there's someone out there. And you can hear the sound of blades being drawn.
At that point, I'll reach up and knock solidly on the door.
Okay. Huh. Someone says from within, "It's here!" And someone else says, "It wouldn't knock, fool."
What do you mean, it? I'm just a fellow traveler.
Who are you?
I'm Isidore. And this Zudagog, although you have to open the door to see us.
You can hear kind of a
We
whispering.
come seeking rest, and we have brought food to share.
What's that? He said they got food. Give me 2 seconds here. I need.
I'm hoping they like skink.
Ask Derek, says one of them. And the other one says, "The mirror mage won't like it." And it says, "Ask him." And you can hear them. Someone moves back. Someone says to you, "Wait there." And someone comes back and you can hear a new voice. "Stranger, open the door so we might see you."
Okay, if I get arrows to the face, I'm going to be very upset. I'm going to open the door.
I've heard no reason to return your request that we meet or that we parley with arrows at this point. You would guess from the accent, he's not from your homeland, but he's from farther north. You can give us, give us a knowledge check. This is what these are for. I'm trying to think here. I think, what's your third studies?
History, Cavalry, and Kingdom of Almur.
I don't think any of this. So just give us a knowledge check then with a +1 modifier from your intelligence.
Ooh.
You know that they're not from Almur, but you can't quite place where they're from. Let me show you who awaits inside.
Actually, I'll spend a point. And
Oh,
see if I can
sure.
get that
Yeah,
higher.
Ash point. You got it. Yeah.
Hoping for at least once I get some exploding die. Channeling Jeff here.
My God.
No dice for you.
Yeah. All right. So then, let's do this here.
I'm gonna 1 every time. What are the odds?
Yeah, that's ridiculous. Have you had any of your dice explode yet?
Nope.
Jeez. Okay, so, and I'll put the name tag down here for you so you can see. And yeah. All right. This is who is waiting inside. So you have a couple of humans and what look like maybe half-orcs. Mercenaries, you would guess. From Narek's dress, you'd guess he's a likely... Oh, and his age and his general comportment, he probably is a veteran and probably a mercenary who joined the Dwarf War late. They do not have any unit insignia on them right now, and you do not see a standard bearer, so it suggests these guys are either decoms or they are on a mission and don't want anyone to know. There is another room in this building that they have not, you cannot see into, but Narek is the one who is speaking. He says, just the two of you?
Just the two of us.
It's not many who would travel this valley, stranger.
Yeah, and apparently there's not been many that have traveled. We were assaulted by a small horde of skink. Then I'll toss like the three small bodies and the big alpha one inwards. Food.
Nasty things, those bone gnars. But see, you seem to have dealt with them, so you seem capable.
Well, yes. I have known fighting in my day.
What's your destination?
Well, we're heading to see you may not know him, but an orc named Morak. Morax.
I cannot say I know the name.
We're hoping to meet with him to get a pretty much passive and to the further orc tribes. Zutagog here is a ruin we're seeking.
Your treasure seekers.
In a manner, yes. What else is to do when there's no longer a war to fight and you wish to stay out of trouble?
You can hear a voice from that room behind, and someone steps out, looking like this. And the voice comes from behind that mirrored mask. Let them in.
Oof. That's a cool looking mage.
Narek turns to look at the mirror mage and says, "The night is cold, please. Come inside."
There is something in the hills that Zutagog does not like, so we thought it best to risk coming here than stay out in the hills.
The mirror mage turns to Zutagog and says, "You are a sorcerer." And Zutagog says, "A dabbler at best." If you guys just come in, why don't you give us, Sir Isidore, give us a sense motive check, please.
Alrighty, that's actually a decent skill of mine. Of course, I roll a 9.
You want to action point that?
I would do that, yes.
Okay.
Hopefully we'll get an
Here comes that
one.
exploding dice. Come
I
on.
will eat my words for the night. Oh,
There you go! Look at that! 15!
34.
Holy
24,
shit!
yeah.
All right, so a 24 total for this. So maybe this is where your like veteran's instincts kick in, right? Where you step in. Here's a couple things you pick up. They are walking wounded. The other guys are the half orcs and the humans. They have bandaged wounds. Narek has what looks to be one bandaged wound on him as well. One of the archers seems to have a second quiver next to him, and it seems identical to him, or at least for all intents and purposes, identical. That's the kind of thing you take from a fallen man, not to carry a whole bunch of extra stuff. These guys seem like they have seen some stuff. They also seem on edge. Narek is trying to put a brave face on this, but he seems to be pretty agitated. And this one, the mirror mage, if you were to guess, human or perhaps someone of mixed race or mixed ancestry. But there is just a hint of an elven accent in there. They, the pureblood elves at least, their word, not mine, they would keep only to themselves.
So pureblood elf wouldn't hide his face. A half elf, though.
Well, a pureblood elf, if you did not want it to be known that you're mixing with others, that would be a way of doing that, is to conceal your face. Gotcha. But what an elven wizard and a bunch of mercenaries who have seen combat recently are doing in the middle of this valley,
sinking suspicion that they're after something similar to us or the same thing.
If you were to guess, because you rolled so good on this, like 34 is or 24.
All of those 3 ones that I won came back this time.
Exactly. The check finally came through. What I think you can tell is not only are they nervous, so they're worried about something that is out there. Obviously, the jumpiness at the door, that told you enough of that. They're also keeping you from going into that back room. You get the sense that they're also potentially guarding something.
Gotcha.
So, Zudagog will, as you step in, Zudagog will look at you, you'll look at him, and say, so?
Well, Azura will look at the mirror maid and says, you're obviously a wielder of magic as well, but I see your crew is wounded. Can you do nothing to help them?
You are perceptive.
And you've lost a man. Then he'll look at the quiver.
Narek says, most inquisitive. I would think
I'm
that...
not sure what you have seen, but if you're not able to help your men, Zudagog has some healing magic. He might be able to help.
Narek looks at the mirror mage and says, we need not. I'm trying to think here. It says, if you will. And kind of gestures. He walks past Narek and leans in to say something to him, trying to not to make sure you cannot hear, and then he heads back into the other room. Narek looks and says, if your magics will help, please.
Well, if one of you would like to dress the skinks and begin cooking, we'll take a look at your men.
Narek gestures free food to his men. Go. So there's probably 2 of them that have injuries that could benefit from Zudagog's magic. So give us 2 spellcasting checks, please.
Come on, Zudagog. Like these people like us.
But it's not an error.
Alrighty, at least one gets healed.
No, you can keep going. Like it just
okay.
It'll. So there's one. There's a success. It's just an error, because if he gets an error, I can spend the action point to penalize him for the scene.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
You just needed 2 successes, right?
Just needed 2 successes, so he's good.
Okay.
All right. So with a little bit of extra tries, they are healed up, and they both are appreciative of it.
Yeah.
Narek.
It's a shame we didn't run into you earlier. We might have been able to assist. What got you so wounded? It couldn't have been skink. There are many of you.
Narek says, you're most inquisitive.
I do like to know what I'm getting myself into. There are only 2 of us.
We offer our hospitality, but if you are unsatisfied with what's on offer, you are free to brave the hills. But the hills and valleys of the Dwarflands are not a welcoming place at night. You served here, did you not?
I did. No longer.
You're a long way from Almor.
Yep. I put down my sword and took up on a new life. Mercenary for me.
Well, you are not the first. If you're trying to sort of direct him to get, talk more about why he's here, why don't you give us a investigate check, please?
Dang, I'm not that great at that. Oh well, we'll try.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. You're not trained in investigate, right?
I am not, no.
That means your error range is a 3 or less. So I can trigger an error from this.
Yeah?
Yeah, so I'm gonna... so he You start asking. He sits down. Mercenary work, eh?
Yeah, self-serving mercenary work, but the same.
Not with a company, then.
No. I owe allegiance to no one but myself and Zudagog here.
He looks up at two of his men who have been helped and looks over at the other two. Where is it again, your meeting? Some orc? Why don't you tell us about what it is you wish to see or find?
Glance over at Zudagog and just shrug. I mean, it says there's a Zudagog here found hints of an ancient dwarven ruin that has appeared once in our records and then vanished, and we seek it.
And he looks over your scrolls then, orc. Is that where they come from? And Zudagog kind of gives you a look of like, he's not comfortable here. Well, it's clear you have been through much in your time in the war. It is a shame you have not learned better caution. And he looks over at the other two men, and they both draw knives. The non-injured ones. The ones who you treated, they look like they are going to grab their weapons. They're not like at your neck or anything like that, but Narek says, on your own, carrying such cargo.
I give him a look and just channel like all my time as a crusader just kind of bubbling up, and I'll just try to intimidate him like, you don't want this.
Yeah, give us a... So this is... I really do like how it works. So basically you're going to try and do stress damage on him.
Mm-hmm.
So give us... I think it is... Okay, so browbeat is what you use to... Let's use it as the attack. I can't remember what it's called.
Is it the threaten?
Yes, threaten. That's what I'm thinking of, yeah.
Okay. Oh, nice.
So, holy smokes. 20. Okay, so let's see here.
So I just imagine him like, he put down his sword for the crusade, but it just bubbles back up in him, and it's like that fervor that he would die for his cause. It's still there. It's just in a different form.
Yeah. It's cool. The barbarian pregen that I put together for this, he's got an ability where he can threaten, I think it's 3 targets at once when he does it.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. All right, so threaten... Opposed by their resolve. So his resolve, that's for sure going to beat his resolve. So give us a 1d6 roll. This will be the stress damage. I believe you can add action points to damage, by the by.
Don't have any. So
don't have any. Why don't we rectify that? That was a pretty fun twist. So you do have it.
I'll spend it then.
Okay.
So 7.
7. Okay, so I'm just gonna double check that. I'm fairly certain it's any dice rolls, not just d20 rolls, that you can add your action points to. So let me check that first. It's in.
This counts as a
combat. Here we go.
Would it count as an attack check, even though it's a threaten? Because I can get 2 dice out of that then.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah. Yeah. That is an attack, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I love it.
Well, it's an attack, not damage, so...
Oh, that's right. It's just to attack check, so it would just be to your thing. That is correct.
Yeah, okay. Well.
All right, hold on. Let's see here.
Be like, We're better to be hesitant allies than you lose more men.
For sure, you know, and like this is... Why am I having such a hard time finding this now? Where the heck? Here. Start of the section? Yes, here we go, here we go. Yeah, so, and here's the thing, when you can use it on attack checks, skill checks, knowledge checks, saving throws. You can also spend it to boost each of your lethal, stress, or subdual damage results.
And that was a stress. So
stress, so that is 7, and then stress damage, I think it's a will save it triggers. 10 plus half the stress damage. And then what happens is if he fails it, he gains like stress 1, and it's up to 4 conditions that he can gain. Here we go. Stress damage ignores DR. Yeah, will save is 1/2 stress damage taken rounded down. And on a fail, he becomes shaken. If he's already shaken, he becomes stunned. Oh, no, sorry. Shaken, it becomes 1 more degree shaken on another fail. Shaken is -2 on all attack checks, as well as charisma and wisdom. Whew. So let me make a will save for him. You don't have an action point left, do you? Guys, I don't. I rolled an error. But he fails in any event. So I think with your, insistence, he kind of
like hospitality goes both ways. And then, kind of like that look was, I'll kill you first if this happens.
Yeah. Well, it's enough to sort of, he looks at the others. If you were in my position, you would try the same. You are guests. We're in orcish territory. Let's act like orcs. You are our guest. The implication being he's not going to take action against you. Yeah. You can't necessarily trust him. He is not an orc, so his word goes very, very short distance.
And I'll reply, and we'll treat broken oaths the same. We have an accord?
We understand each other. He puts his hand out to shake yours.
Grasp it firmly.
Okay, he shakes.
Let him feel every bit of my 15 strength.
Yeah. You're definitely stronger than this fella. And it's at that point, I think, that there is a howl of something outside. And the way that the others react, spinning around, grabbing their weapons, getting ready, and the way that Narek reacts, that's not a simple wolf, or at least the reaction you would make to one of the wolves of the Dwarflands.
Tilt my head and listen, and then look at Narek and says, if we're going to get attacked, I should know what's attacking us.
The Mirror Mage has come back in and says, you need not know what. Other than it is a demon, an ancient thing, and it comes for us. You can hear the howl almost as if to confirm it.
I don't know if I'll say it. Why not? It's like, perhaps it's seeking the blood of an elf.
There's a shot, kind of, Narek looks back at the Mirror Mage. The mage says, you seem insightful.
Try to meet his gaze through his mask and says, I see a lot, and I speak little.
Then you would know that the elder folk compensate well those who do their bidding.
How about I try to save your life?
the elder folk would compensate those who do so. Narek kind of gives a look of like, he's trying to decide whether he should fight over this, but also he does seem concerned about what's out there.
Well, I'll reach for my blade and do a long, slow draw and do shing. And the broadsword, I think, is the only thing he would actually keep from his old armory. So it's actually very nice.
Okay. So, Narek says, a sword. Can he swing that thing?
Would you like to try? And
no.
He'll do a little flip of it. And
he draws his sword. It's just a long sword. And he says, I don't need as much steel to dispatch my foes.
It's not meant just to dispatch your foes. It's to break them while you do it.
Have you fought in any sieges?
Aye.
Then looks around. Not much of a keep or a castle. And what we face is big enough to bring this down upon us. But if we face it in the open, in the dark, it will be worse.
I imagine more than hours passed since Zudago cast his mage armor.
Oh yeah, probably actually.
He's probably going to kick it back on then.
Sure.
Fumbles once, fumbles twice, and finally gets
there we
it.
Go. All right.
Zudagog, you're quite nervous. Does talk of demons frighten you? Sir Isidore is not looking forward to finding a demon either.
No, and like if it is indeed a demon, while the Elven armies did not make use of those, nor would any of the allied armies admit to that, the dwarves turned to demonology in protection of their holds. So it could very well be something dating from the recent wars. It could also be something much older. Because if the dwarves learned to master demonology in order to defend themselves against the Dwarf War, during the Dwarf War, they would have had to have learned that at some point, and binding of demons is an old and corrupted art. So it could be something dating from well before those times. To say nothing of free wandering demons that may be summoned by orc tribes or other things.
I think it's time to use my lucky coin.
Mm.
I'm going to go ahead and give it a flip. Just pull it out and there's a ting as it hits the air, and he catches it and sees if it's heads or tails.
Yeah.
And either I get some insight or I'll get a free point.
Yeah. So here's what... Well, let me ask you... Actually, I'll give you the option. What would you like? Do you want a hint or do you want an action point? You're going to get an action point in 4 minutes anyway.
Let's go for the hint, because I think that's more narratively fun.
Okay, so you're going to get an action point. So go ahead and take that as well. And so here's what, as a reminder, you've learned thus far. These folks have something in the other room they don't want you to know about, or something in the other room, at least.
Oh, this is going to be great.
The elf, the mirror mage, seems to be with him. That is exceptionally unusual for them to be with him, and they have seen combat before. It's not... The elves are the ones who led the Alliance into the Dwarflands because of the death of their sun god. But as the war went on, they did seem to be interested in some other things as well, whether that's related to the reason for the war, whether that is corollary to it. But no one's really trusted them, particularly their reluctance to share some of their secrets with any of their allies. So how do you think all of that fits together with what you might be facing?
I think they're reaching for technology that did damage to them, or tampering or messing with things they shouldn't be. And this thing's got a taste for elves now.
Could very well be. And what do you think is in the other room?
Some dwarven technology that's the mess with demons. That's got to be what's in there.
If they, in which case, this is a hunter demon that may be pursuing them, and its pursuit and taking down prey are the two sort of primary reasons those things exist.
Good, I'm going to play into this. He's going to take a deep breath as he pockets the coin and go, it's a hunter demon.
And the mirror mage this time, in spite of not being able to see the face, says, yes, most well informed.
Oh, let's pray we last the night. If you move quickly, it took us 2 days to get here, you might escape it.
And Derek says, we would not survive through open ground. We barely made it here, and at great cost.
Does it seek you during the daylight?
It does. And Narek looks at the mirror mage. He wants to say more, and the mirror mage nods, and he looks back. It is also a deceiver. It has twice walked among us, appearing as one of them before reverting to its true form.
That explains the distrust you've shown.
He grins and says, I am also a bastard. But I'm one who knows I've survived what I've seen thus far.
And Isidore give us a sort of little swing and says, well, let's see if I can draw on the old skills the Crusades taught me to help you. Maybe some holy powers left of this sword of mine.
My men are skirmishers and archers. How would you make use of them?
Unlike your men, I hold ground. I will distract it, and you fill it with arrows as you can.
I've been paid.
I only ask that you keep Zudagog protected because his magics may prove more useful.
You tell your orc to stay near... Oh, he wouldn't. He's got half orcs among him. He wouldn't be bigoted like that. You tell your wizard to stay near mine, and I will keep them safe. Then, how do you suggest we proceed? You can hear the howl from outside again.
My instinct is open ground, but that is not what we need to do. It will come for us. It seeks whatever's in the next room.
So the mirror mage says, in here, it can tear us apart. Narek says, bait it? And he looks at the mirror mage. The mirror mage turns its reflective face towards you. If you would earn your reward, you must survive.
I have no plans of dying.
Few do. Wait here. And he goes into the other room, and Narek says, you're putting yourself on the end of a fishhook, boy.
The situation is already akin to a frying toad above a fire. The only way out is to leap.
If you say, then what he says, what do you plan then? Face it in the open? And if so, where will my men be? He gestures to the two half-orcs. These two can get in and are good with knives. The others, if we can see what this thing is, they can shoot it.
Well, Zudagog has a light spell. I'm sure he can make me blaze like a beacon. And then that should give you the light you need to shoot it.
If you keep it illuminated, Zutagog, why don't you give us a... this is only a 13, actually, for... I think it's 13, maybe it's 15.
Yeah, you got it.
Good enough, either way. What do you want, like maybe the boss of your hide shield?
The sword.
Oh, the
sword.
sword.
Like a holy sword.
Brilliant, okay. Then that thing is bright, and I'm going to see if the mirror mage may have something to assist as well. Let me double check. Here we go.
There's so many jokes about dwarves and guns in the chat.
Oh yeah. Dwarves with a dwarvish Ghostbuster box in another room. That was actually our Baramaze campaign. We had our gnomish Ghostbusters in that one.
Oh yeah.
So, the mirror mage is not going to be able to help you out. So I was just checking to see if he could do magic weapon on you, but it's a touch and it's only 1 minute.
And he's probably not brave enough to get that close.
He is not getting.
him.
Why do you think he's promising reward to you? Okay. So then he says, oh, so when the mirror mage comes back in, he's carrying a satchel, a leather satchel that's about this big. It feels like there is something, or the way, well, once he hands it to you, it feels like there is something about it would be about the weight of like a sledgehammer's head. So it's a pretty big chunk of probably metal or stone that's in there.
3 to 5 pounds. Okay.
So if you put that in your, like, you could easily hold your shield and then wrap the strap of this around it so you can keep it on you. And the mirror mage says from behind that mask once again, the bait.
Some kind of ensorcelled object, I suppose.
You need not know what. Know that, and he hears the howl again. It wants it. It calls to it.
I see Isidore as, he's somewhat cautious and sometimes stuck. He'll say, you know what, you say need not a lot, but the want is always there.
If survive this, and we may have more use for you. He steps back, and Narek says, all right, my boys on the roof, you think?
Yep, your archers for sure. Your skirmishers, if they want to come in and stab, make sure I've got this thing highly distracted before they do so.
I am checking to see. I can't remember if there's a shooting into melee penalty in this game or if they removed it.
Well, if I know there's archers up there, I'm going to strike it and try to knock it down and then move back so they get a clear shot and make it come at me. So,
okay.
To what are the guerrilla hit and run tactics?
Okay. That sounds good. So they're going to be positioned on the roof. The skirmishers, where would you like them?
Probably hidden somewhere near the doorway, so I'm still between them and the monster. And then once it's fully distracted, they can dart in and start stabbing at it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And
at the very least, protecting Zutagog, so... I want Zutagog within 50 feet to potentially magic missile this thing, because I don't think Sleep's going to work on it.
No, quite possibly not. I could be wrong here, but I don't think there's a firing into melee penalty.
Even better.
Yeah, that's cool. Like, I mean, it makes sense and is realistic, for why it's there, but it is a colossal pain in the ass. You're playing a ranged character. I do like that they did away with it in.
Usually it's a feat and 3.5 to get rid of the penalty. So.
Yeah, and because it's a feat that anybody who's playing that is going to take, it becomes this kind of like feat tax instead of like you're trying to get away a thing that makes your character shitty, as opposed to something that makes them badass.
One thing they could do is like use the aim option to, they can only shoot once per round and then ignore the penalty. And then
No, I'm fine. Like because they can't get crits. It's totally fine because
Gotcha.
Technically we could make this a dramatic scene, which means we could spend action points on it. In which case, actually, let's each get an action point as well. To get into this final scene here.
Each is the thing.
Yeah. Well, this is where, like, with a bigger group, it would be a lot more offset by it because I'm only getting one dice. Oh, no, I get one for everyone you guys get, so it does sort of balance out. But anyway, let's get this thing set up. Okay, so you have the skirmishers positioned by the door. You have Narek inside with the Mirror Mage and Zudagog, or at least near the door. You have them on the archers on the roof, and we have yourself making your way. How close do you wish to be to the door?
I'd say maximum range about 35 feet to 40 feet away from the door.
Okay.
So we'll say 30, so if they have the movement speed, they need just to dart in there one action to stab it.
All right, let me get this thing set up here quickly. And if we were playing with a PC mage, then this is where they would gain the spell points at the start of the round.
Oh.
And you go through your spell points.
The Mirror Mage is going to keep himself hidden in the building?
Very much so. Not paying to have anyone else. Did I write this up? Oh, Madison, come on, man. Hold on. Here we go. I've got a second copy of the core book because I figured there'd be times where I need to have like the reference sheet for the monsters open and then also the other, but I forgot to bring the book in here.
I think they have a skill called Prestidigitation.
That's sleight of hand. Effectively what sleight of hand is in other games. I think it's also used for a disabled device. So, no, it's cool. Like the way they've reworked the entire kind of 20 system is pretty cool. I also forgot to give you XP because for each thing you defeat, you get XP for it.
Oh.
Yeah, and it's like
So it's like spinning it on the fly kind of stuff?
You don't get to necessarily spend it, but like because a part of it is there's a reason for why you're getting the XP on the fly. And I can't remember offhand what it is. But it's each, like, for every encounter. I don't think it's the end of each session you're supposed to get the XP, but it's for each individual target. And one of the reasons that matters is because you have an option to spend an action dice to bring more enemies into a scene.
Oh.
So if you're feeling like we can really handle this and we want to make it more exciting, you can do that. So it's like, I don't think I've ever seen that in a game before, where the players can make it more difficult, more challenging, just to get more reward out of it.
I have not seen that either.
You also get to roll for treasure. We didn't actually roll for it too, but there's treasure rolls you make as well at the end of it. So the more things you down, the more treasure you get to roll for as well. Yeah. So
why is this game not that popular?
What I've heard, Ingolf has friends who this game is quite popular with, and with the people who it is popular with, it is very popular. So let's see. And obviously, like, because I'm looking up a bunch of shit, it's taking longer for certain things than it would be if I was more conversant with the rules or if I was better prepped.
It's okay. We're just having fun.
Exactly. Okay, so
I fully expect to die by demon attack, but whatever.
Okay. Let's see. So it'll be. All right. This will be interesting. Okay. Then, let's give it a name. All right. So, standing out, your light coming from your sword, the sound of the wind in the mountains, the shuffling of the armor of those behind you, and then the sound of your heart beating in your ears. Where's your mind go, Sir Isidore?
It kind of flashes back to his history with the Crusades and the Crusaders, how he had fervent beliefs before, and he's kind of like put his sword down and walked away from it, but now his mind is just flashing back to old haunts, like, not afraid to die, but what happens now, stand your ground, but, there's that urge to flee, and he's just steeling himself over and over and over.
Okay. So,
as he knows at this point, there's the run or fight. That's your only option, and if you run, you'll die tired.
Yeah. So as you're kind of waiting, you've heard the howling in the hills. I'd like you to give us a will save, please. DC's 15.
I'm going to spend a point and roll
nice.
that.
Come on.
Oh.
Are you kidding? Oh, but remember, you're safe. You're grizzled.
Oh, yeah.
Last chance. You may spend and roll 2 action points, action dice to boost any save.
So I can spend up to 2?
You can spend up to 2, yeah.
Oh. Okay. I just made it.
Nah, jeez Louise. All right, so then...
at this point, I have full faith in the game that it's going to explode on me the next time I roll, so...
Yeah, and I think what we'll do is, as this thing... So what has happened is you moved in, and then you hear, and it's a howl. Not like wolves going through. It sounds like the ragged crying of... Imagine... something akin to what a dragon sounds like in recent media, but also combined with a bear's growl. And that is right near you. If you had failed the save, you would have been shaken for the scene.
Yeah.
And you can tell everybody else is. Though the nerve has gone out in these things, but you have steeled yourself for it. Why don't you take one more action?
Yeah, there's a moment where he's entirely shaking, and then he just stops, and there's a clink as he sets his feet.
Okay. Why don't you go ahead? I'm going to add turns for everybody. Go ahead and roll initiative for yourself. I'll add for the archers. Oh my god. Okay, then go ahead and roll for Zutagog and add in. Let's just add for this one here. I know it's on the left. They're on a 9. And then what will move itself out just in time for you to see it. And you know where this sound has come from now. And the keeper is... Where's the initiative? Ooh.
Did you roll a 1 as well?
I did. You have an action point, don't you?
I spent 2 of them to make my will save.
Oh, no, but I gave you another one.
Oh.
Yeah,
okay.
As this thing is coming into this fight. Heck yeah, you're going to need it. I've taken one as well. Okay, and then this thing. But what I rolled is... I rolled an error on this. So do you want to bank your thing, or you want to spend the...
What could I get out of an error with the...
I'll give you a surprise round against it. Just means it's flat-footed.
I will spend that.
Okay. So then I'm going to put it at 5. So you're going to have a surprise round on this. So Narek is not coming out to fight. Neither is the Mirror Mage. It's just yours. I'll use the same initiative score for the Bowman as for the trackers. So let's just do this here. So you are the one who gets a surprise round. What do you want to do? This thing is a move away. So it'll be a half action to get into it.
Is there a... There's a bull rush, but I'm looking for like a charge attack.
I don't know if there is a charge. I think there is a special action you can learn that is a charge. And I think there might be
so am I only going to get a half action or just a full action?
It'll be a half action to move into this thing, and then a half action to attack, and then we drop into initiative order.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just going to say...
So you can choose, if you want to... I mean, you would get one attack on this thing, I suppose. Oh, and it's... hold up, it's vitality. I did that wrong. 1 second. I cheated. Madison, quit cheating. That's not its health bar. That is its vitality. Oops, not that.
What is my...
And what do you think? Sorry, you go ahead. While I'm fixing this, go ahead and...
Okay. I'm thinking about doing a delay.
Ooh, okay, what do you... Yeah?
Oh,
that's a good idea,
it's
yeah.
obviously going to rush me, so...
That's brilliant. No, that's brilliant. Then you would be able to take a reaction before it goes in, then get your full turn.
Mm-hmm. I'm thinking I'm going to attempt a... Oh, shoot. I think I'm going to go with a... No, I'll strike it when it comes by.
Okay.
Yeah. I was thinking tripping, but no, that's not actually going to work well. Actually, unarmed attack, triple double damage. It's my unarmed. So I think if I clock it really as it comes in on me, that might help. But
okay.
Unarmed. How good am I with that? Yeah, I think I'll do that. I'll ready a pummel attack. No, that's a full. No, I can't do that. That's a full action.
Okay.
I'll go to standard attack it when it comes in close.
You got... Oh, your stance.
Actually, yeah, okay. I'll actually shift into my stance with my half action, and then I will taunt it.
Nice. How does taunt work?
It is a sense motive versus sense motive to force it into close combat with me with its next action.
Oh, love it. Yeah. Give us...
So it won't go after anybody else.
It would be then sense motive. You're...
Like, I've got what you're looking for. Come and get it.
Okay. So then you're looking for a DC of...
Got a 15.
13. So yeah, you got it. It's coming in on you. It snarls at you. Then we go to the top of the round. So Zutagog is up first. What would Zutagog like to do? Zutagog is currently shaken, so -2 to all checks.
And
including
attack
spellcasting.
Double checking that everything's plugged in properly. Okay, there we go.
Okay, nice.
So even if... Yeah, Zutagog is just going to magic missile him straight up.
Okay.
Especially since he's already distracted.
So it'll effectively be an 18 he's rolling against.
Okay.
Come on, Zutagog.
He's short.
Okay, so he's not able to quite get the spell off. Then is the archer's turn. If you want to give us a 2d6 -1. Oh, sorry, 1d20 -1 for each attack. And its defense...
Nat 20 and a 9.
Nat 20, awesome. Okay, so unfortunately cannot get a crit. Because it's a... Although it's a dramatic scene. If you had an action point...
Yeah, I don't have one.
You could get that. So that's kind of cool to know for future. And then, let me see here. I'm trying to think what the defense is. Here we go. I'm going to, I think, get printed the NPC list between now and next time, because it would be great having this chart before me. Okay, so defense is a 13. So those are hits. 1d8, I believe. 1d8 or 1d6? I think what does this roll 1d8 damage? 5.
5 damage.
Okay, so shwook. Its hide seems to be quite tough the way it's sitting in, but
At least as tough as my leather, for sure.
Yeah. Then this thing moves. It will charge in on you and try and get you. So it has +5. I miss. Ow. I could roll an action point, and I got them here for this, so let's do it. Let's see.
Roll 1.
Does not explode, so I needed it to explode in order to get you. So you batter it to the side with your shield. Sir Isidore, your turn. What are you doing?
I'm going to like pivot along with the blow and try to score it along the side with an attack.
Go right ahead. Defense is a 13.
Alrighty. Attack.
Solid hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
Eat holy sword, beast.
6. Okay. So
And I'm going to make my free sense motive to
nice.
Get a +1 to my AC against it.
Yeah. Go ahead. So that'll be against a DC of its sense motive is 2, 3. So it's 17 you're rolling against.
This is worth a shot.
Okay.
And then second attack.
Yeah. Go right ahead.
Missed.
Oh shit, yeah. Do you, oh yeah, did do damage.
Yeah,
all right.
There's
then
only once per round I can do that, so.
Top of the round, Zudagog. What's he doing?
He's flexing his fingers and trying to work up his nerve to magic missile again.
Okay. Come on.
Said 18.
18 again, yeah.
Spend it.
It is. I got to spend that action point. All right. So he's just this eyes look up at him and he kind of loses his nerve. -5 to spellcasting until he succeeds.
So
until
I got to
of...
roll a 20.
Oh,
no, wait, 23. Yeah.
Yeah, that's tough. Archers.
Alrighty. 1d20 -1. Nope.
Okay. And then would you give us 2 of the same rolls for the skirmishers need to get their nerve in order to run in on this thing?
Okay.
Yep. Nope. One of them has actually run away. I'm just going to take his token away because he's run off into the night. The other one is going to move in. Go ahead and give us the same roll.
Nice.
That's a hit. 1d6 damage.
Ooh.
Nice shot. Look at that.
You don't need your other fellow.
All right. Then the keeper goes. First thing the keeper is going to do is deal with this little pissant who is on his side.
No, stay on me.
That is...
I taunted you.
Yeah, definitely a hit. It'll be 1d8 plus 2. That is 7 points of damage. So give us a 1d10 roll against a 13. Well, 1d20 roll against a 13. Sorry. This is damage save.
You failed.
He's crunched in half by this thing. And he tosses the carcass aside. And then he's going to try and get you again. That is a miss. Then, Sir Isidore, your turn. What are you doing?
Let's see. This is getting interesting.
Last 5 minutes, everyone gets an action point.
Oh, excellent.
Let's get this going.
Okay. Combat actions. I think.
Technically, I mean, I think Zudagog has an action point as well.
Does he?
So he can make use of it on his turn if he likes.
Okay. He doesn't have a bar.
No,
okay.
I'll quickly do that while you make your...
Let's see. Let's try.
There you go. What are you thinking?
I just think I have to beat the crap out of him. It's just, we're going to do that.
Okay.
Attack. Stay on me, you hell beast.
That is a hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
11.
11, Evan. Nice job. Look at this.
And then I'm going to attempt to use my free thing to...
Yep.
Get him.
So
You said it was 17?
Yeah.
Look
at that. +1 to your defense for next round. Beautiful.
Yep.
Okay.
And then... That actually worked pretty good. Yeah, I'm gonna keep attacking him because it's another 22 to hit.
Another hit. Go ahead and roll damage. Big hit too. Wowzers. All right.
Beast.
Look at that. All right. Then top of the round. So remember, top of the round is when you would spend action points if you want to get a bonus to your defense. But what is Zutagog doing? Unless you want to spend that. I think you're currently at 16 for your defense.
Yeah, I think I'm good with defense.
Okay.
I think Zutagog, he can get rid of -5 if he succeeds on the spell, so he's going to try again.
Okay.
So I need to hit a 23.
Come on.
He's spending that point.
Nice! Beautiful! So he gets it off.
Alrighty, so
Are
yeah,
all of them going to the keeper? Also, that penalty doesn't apply any longer. He gets his nerve back.
Yep. So is he still shaking though?
He is still shaken. Yeah, so he still takes the -2, but 11 points. All right. This thing is not pleased. Then
Come
it
on,
is
Archers, put it on the run.
Archers. Go ahead and give their shots for them.
Nope.
Nope. And it is the keeper's turn. Did not like that magic. Turns. Oh!
Nope.
Howls
Can't get away.
of the damned again. So, Sir Isidore, I need another will save from you, and I need one from Zutagog. Zutagog has +1 to his saves. I'll roll for the guards.
Okay.
One is running off.
There we go. Alrighty, I'm good.
You're good. Excellent.
+1 for Zutagog?
+1 for Zutagog, yeah.
He's not
Nice! Beautiful. Does not get any worse than what he was. So that was one half action for the keeper, and then the keeper's going to try and bite you. You got a 16 right now. He has a +5 to hit. Finally hits, but not a crit. So you take... that is 9 points of damage, but your armor will apply.
Oof. Okay, so 7. It's a good hit. So I imagine he gets right onto the shield. I'm just shaking him off, and it just rips part of my gauntlet off with it.
Then, Sir Isidore, what are you doing?
There's got to be something cool I can do here. I'm thinking, does like stress add to their stress is just inflicting statuses stuff, right?
Stress can potentially make them, it makes them make a will save against half the stress damage that they've taken so far. If they fail, they become shaken 1, -2 to actually, and then you can stack multiple instances of shaken.
Okay.
You could, disarming's not going to help.
No.
Feint did help you, but you get that for free as long as you hit them. Pummel's an unarmed attack.
It's full action. What's damage going to do with my subtle hits? Because I'm thinking just smacking him real hard. I'll do a D4 now. That's not going to be worth it.
Okay.
Yeah, we're just going to lean into the attack.
Okay.
Come on.
Go ahead.
Now, pig. I can spend it. Let's hope this comes in.
Okay.
Yep, action point.
Go ahead. Come on. You just need 3. There you go. That's a big hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
Okay. 8.
And that one draws blood, or ichor, I guess. So it is fatigued.
Oh, nice. Then with the spilling of ichor, it's like the sword starts to blare with a red light as the ichor gets on it, because it's coating the. And he's going in for another swing. This time he's aiming for the neck.
Okay, come on. A 16 is a hit. 7 points of damage. All right. Go. All right. Then it is Zutagog's turn.
Reaches up and he pushes his glass up. You got him on the run, sir.
Okay.
Okay, +7. I need to get an 18. Okay. Yes!
Yeah, hands shaken. Another magic missile goes off. Holy smokes, look at this. Oh, wait. Oh, it's force damage. So it goes through DR.
That's a lot.
Then the archer.
Okay, you got this. Take him out, Archer. Earn your pay.
That is a hit. 1d6.
I thought you said a D8, right?
Oh, 1d8. Sorry, yeah, 1d6 for the other guy. That is enough. it is down.
And then you see Isidore, he just sniffs, pivots, swings around, and tries to take its head off as it's on the ground.
You do, which leaves this stinking heap that begins almost immediately dissipating, because this is an unnatural substance.
Then Isidore just goes on the body.
Nice. Now, that is the end of the fight and the end of the session, because we're out of time. So, wow, nice job, Sir Isidore. What'd you think, John?
This is so close to 3.5 that it's immediately a yes, and then all the extra stuff it adds, yes, this is good.
That's awesome. Yeah, this was a lot of fun to run, too. That was, and these are first level characters.
I love the whole vitality points and wounds thing. That's great.
Yeah.
I would play again. Like,
awesome. That is great to hear.
We should have a Bear Maze campaign with this.
yeah. It's boy, oh boy, like what a, those are, even the first fight too, like just fighting a bunch of skink. There was a lot of interesting shit that was happening in that scrap. So very cool. All right. So then for those listening at home, thank you so much for joining us for our maiden voyage into Fantasy Craft and into the Dwarflands. As is always the case, if you have any comments, questions, or concerns regarding the session, the game, or the adventure, I guess, please don't hesitate to leave a comment in the comment section down below, and I'll endeavor to reply in a timely fashion. I'll also post the character sheets on the Dungeon Musings Discord server as well, for both Zutagog and for Sir Isidore. There's also a link down below to the Dungeon Musings Discord server where I will be posting that information. I'll do that under the Probably Assorted Games channel. There's also channels there for most other campaigns and games we run on the channel, most other, and then things like Find a Group, GM discussion, virtual tabletop chat, a terrific community over there. You are more than welcome to join us. There's also a link down below to our friends at Noble Knight Games. Noble Knight Games is the preeminent unionized retailer of hard-to-find and out-of-print RPGs like Fantasy Craft. I got my copies of Fantasy Craft from them. Not only do they have an incredible selection of new role-playing games, board games, and card games, they have an unmatched selection of hard-to-find and out-of-print RPGs. If they don't have something in stock that you're looking for, you can put it on a want list, and if you make a purchase of $10 or more through their website, be sure to enter the code MuserNight. It's all caps, all one word, listed in the description of the video. It'll save you 10% on your purchase. I actually, and it's worth noting too, the copies I got were very reasonably priced. Like, I'm not sure they were much over what cover price was, because it's not a game that's in big demand, at least at the time of recording. In addition, there's at the end of the month, we'll be playing our charity marathon on May 31st. Saturday, May 31st, we're playing a 16-hour, 4-part session of Dragonbane that will see rotating characters and players. Donors who donate to the Hero Save Villages campaign during that period will be able to affect our gameplay, making things more interesting, more difficult, or easier for our heroes. So lots of opportunities to make things, to affect the pace of play in the Doom of Drakons grab thing. So mark that in your calendar if you're interested in seeing a marathon session of Dragonbane in support of the SOS Children's Villages International Charity. Last thing I will say is a huge thank you to John for diving in. Solo sessions are always extra work for a player because you're having to shoulder all the spotlight for it, and you had to do it with a new game. So thank you so much for joining me to try this thing out. What a great game. I can't wait to run this again. This was a lot of fun.
For sure. Yeah, I actually was tossing turn a bit last night. I was like having dreams about, I'm playing Fantasy Craft. I know nothing about this game.
It turns out you know an awful lot about the fundamentals of it too. So
yeah, it's great. I love it.
Awesome. Great. So then for those listening at home, we should be back in 2 weeks' time, back in the Mortal Realms with our usual Soulbound campaign. But in the interim, thank you so much for joining us for this maiden voyage into Fantasy Craft. I apologize if I got stuff wrong about the game as well. I'm sure I did. But until we see you again, we hope that we gave you a few hours to take your mind off the troubles of our world and think about the troubles that our soul-fallen knight is coming across as he tries to make a new life for himself in the Dwarflands. Why is he staying here instead of just going back home? I don't really know. But until we see you again, stay safe, stay healthy, and happy gaming.